I'm here to talk about Frederick Douglass. So Frederick Douglass was an orator, abolitionist, and the foremost African American leader of the 19th century in the United States. Um, so um, Frederick Douglass started as a slave. He was born as a slave in 1817, and in 1825, at the age of 8, he was separated from his mother and sent to a city called Baltimore. He first worked as a house servant, and he was taught to read and write by a sympathetic mistress against her husband's advice. And then after 8 years, he was sent back to the country and worked as a field hand. Then, after an unsuccessful attempt to escape, he was returned to Baltimore and worked in a shipyard as a caulker. Frederick Douglass succeeded to escape in 1838, and he became a runaway slave. And by the time 1846, his supporters raised enough money for him to buy his freedom, and then he became at the age of 28, Frederick Douglass became a free man. Um, Frederick Douglass joined abolitionists after he read the article read by William Lloyd Garrison, his liberator, and he was very passionate about it. He wrote that the paper became my meat and drink. My soul was outside on fire. So and William Lloyd Garrison attended a meeting about the American Anti-Slavery Society in 1841, and then he heard Frederick Douglass speak, and then he immediately recognized Frederick Douglass' potential and hired him as an agent for the society, just like Susan B. Anthony. And Frederick Douglass wrote an autobiography called The Narrative of Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave. And it became the bestseller not only in North America but also in Europe. In the late 1847, Douglass moved his family to Rochester, New York, and he started to publish a weekly newspaper called the North Star. And Douglass also used his newspaper and his oratory skill to support other causes like women's rights, and he might supported Susan B. Anthony as well. And Douglass believed that the political reforms, like civil wars, was necessary if slavery was to be ended peacefully. So during the Civil War, Frederick Douglass worked as a consultant to President Abraham Lincoln, and he helped to recruit African Americans for the Union Army, and he urged the President Lincoln to ensure the fair treatment for them as Union armies. Frederick Douglass also influenced Reconstruction policies and fought for African American suffrage. He believed that slavery is not abolished until African American man has the vote. As he wrote in his autobiography, you have seen how a man was made a slave. You shall see how a slave was made a man. Frederick Douglass foremost proved himself to be an independent thinker and courageous spokesman for African American liberty and equality.